Today, we have all congregated here as a community to celebrate a special holiday. We are a community because we all have something in common. We are all here to celebrate through the art of powerful words the inspirational and monumental leader, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Because of the hard work and perseverance of people like him, we are here to celebrate through reflection, an amazing person. We celebrate through reflection. But do we all know why reflection is so important? Sure, we know that some great philosophers did a lot of reflection and wrote some weighty tomes about their conclusions. But in truth, reflection is something that all people can benefit from. When people reflect, they are able to deconstruct and scrutinize past experiences. Once people have a better understanding of what happened in the past and why, they can alter their knowledge about the world and make changes based on that new knowledge so as to enjoy more positive experiences in the future. And by looking back on things that have happened, you can analyze how events and feelings are connected. As I was thinking of what to reflect on in this speech, I ran across some difficulties. I'm only 13, and like so many other people my age, I'm still learning how to trace ideas and things I learn back to particular events. I'm still learning how to reflect and analyze. And similar to the dilemmas of other youth, in my 13 years of life, I haven't done anything major to reflect on. In fact, compared to people like Dr. King, I haven't done anything minor. He graduated from high school at age 15 and obtained his BA from Morehouse College at the age of 18. He became a loved and respected pastor at Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. He completed a doctorate at age 24. He led and orchestrated mass civil rights campaigns and wrote eloquent, inspirational speeches that inspired millions then and still do today. To say the very least, I'd be quite proud to be able to claim just one of his many accomplishments. When it was all over, had Dr. King been able to write down his last words to the world, I bet you he would have reflected on the almost unending struggle through which we gained civil rights. He would have reflected on people like Frederick Douglass, who used their oratory skills to speak out against the injustices of slavery, and W.E. Du Bois, whose writing made public the evils that African Americans dealt with daily. He probably reflected on these powerful people and triumphed over what had already been accomplished, but I bet you he also reflected on all that had yet to be changed. Nor, like Dr. Ben Carson, can I reflect on surpassing self-doubt and poverty to become a renowned scientist. Dr. Carson thought he was stupid for part of his childhood. His mother was single, he had a horrible temper, and he was at the bottom of his class. What a lot to reflect on, when as a leading neurosurgeon, he separated Siamese twins joined at the head, an unprecedented feat. When the modified operation table finally reared apart, and each baby's membranes and veins were completely separate, yet so totally intact, when the operation was all over, I bet a lot went through his mind. I bet he remembered scornful teachers, jeering classmates, people telling him that he couldn't do it, he wouldn't make it, that he was dumb. He probably thought of his persevering single mom, who reminded him that he had just the same amount of brains as everyone else, and that he was going to use them too. He reflected on his development, the people and experiences that helped him on his way. And last, but not least, he most likely reflected on the happy lives these two children would now be able to live, and enjoyed the feeling of helping. Nor, at age 13, can I reflect on becoming an academician, entrepreneur, doctor, and engineer like Dr. Jameson. Unlike Dr. Jameson, I can't reflect on overcoming gender and race barriers to meet my goals. Dr. Jameson is known as an advocate of science literacy and is a member of the National Association of Sciences Institute of Medicine. The first African-American woman to enter space, Dr. Jameson worked with NASA for 6 years. Getting up into the air, Dr. Jameson was most likely overwhelmed with excitement. She was focused on the task ahead, wrapped up in the thrill of the present, snatched by the idea of finally being in space. But after Dr. Jameson took off into the air for the first time, after she felt the pressure build up around her and became overcome with the fear and excitement of takeoff, I bet you she reflected on the amazing, strong women who were so important in their own way. She probably looked back on the brave women like Sojourner Truth, who campaigned and spoke tirelessly for African Americans and women's rights, and Harriet Tubman, who worked to free so many people. These were the insistent, righteous women who pushed to get her and all other women to the place where they were. It could be said that these amazing people all have so much to reflect on, and that people my age don't. The focus could be placed on the fact that you and I have yet to make a big difference. But by doing so, we'd be missing the point. As teenagers, making a difference might not be what we're supposed to do. Having a lot to reflect on is not what's important in this stage of our lives. Maybe what truly matters is that we want to make a difference, and one day our determination to do so will give us a lot to reflect on. One day, we will be the doctors that save people's lives, the activists that battle what is wrong and promote what is good, or the scientists that explore new frontiers. One day, we will be the writers who speak their minds in something that truly matters, or the archaeologists who explore the lost history of an oppressed race. So although we may be void of major accomplishments to reflect on right now, we have a whole life ahead of us to change that. And if you ask me, that is what truly matters. Thank you.
All right.